그대가 내게 다가온다면 내게 말해줘 영원히 함께라고. 그래 그럴게 나직한 고백 그 목소리에 내 맘이 떠올라요. Would you come be my lover? 포근하게 안아줄래요? 안아달라 그 한마디에 따스한 온기 전해줘. 그대였나봐 그랬나봐 내 사랑 되어줄 사람 그대였나 되어 그대가 바라던 참 사랑. 그대 그렇게 바라볼 때면 불안해하던 마음이 편해져요. 나의 귓가에 속삭여주던 사랑 노래가 마음을 대신하죠. 매일 흘러갔던 이 길을 둘이 걸어요 영원토록. 그대였나 내 사랑 되어줄 사람 그대였나 그대 내게 말해. 그래 내게 말해줘요 그대. 내겐 그대뿐인걸요. 내게 말해줘 사랑해. 널 사랑한다고 말할게. 너만을 바라본다고. 그대였나 감사해. 그대가 내게 와줘서 my love. Don't keep me down. 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 Don't keep me down.
무표정 그대로 고정 뭔가를 보며 의미 없는 생각도 감정 들이 모아 그대로 유지통해버려 발걸음을 돌려 또한 내 여기 서려 나 빼고 모두가 잘 어울려 벌써 소저녁 술집엔 안 들려 다 괜찮아 보여 행복해 보여 나만 어지러운 건가 봐 바쁘게 지나가 해는 또 지나봐 내 마음의 꽃은 언제 필까 바쁘게 살지만 그냥 좀 쉬다가 신호등 안 온 불이 언제쯤 바뀌니 있는 이거 에너지를 쏟아붓고 탈진 할 때쯤 초록 빨간 둘 중에 뭐가 더 넌 기대돼
이젠 그만
흐려진 섬 가운데서 파도가 지나간 마음의 세계던 그리 지워져도 난 아직 기억하고 있어 yeah. 좀 아쉽지만 괜찮은 척 이제는 했어 찢어진 바지가 제법 잘 어울려 바다에 비친 모습도 꽤 괜찮아 괜시리 예전에 나를 떠올려 갑자기 그래도 센치해 나 근데 진짜 필요 없어 딱히 누군가 구조 갇혀있는 것보단 나물 없는 너의 그 수조 그냥 나만의 착각일 수도 있지만 믿을래 내 죄감을 그래 don't pick me down 그게 내가 같은 길을 걸어왔던 이유 I'm a pass on that 다들의 시기는 이유 모래시계는 쉼없이 지나가는데 껍질만 보는 사람들은 마음이 어떻게
이젠 그만 따라갈래 거울 속에 나를 바라봐줄래 마음속에 깊은 곳에 별빛을 No more sorrow 한걸음씩 돌아갈 거야
sol ilumina, coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra crer. Apagarão as luzes pra eu ver. Sair da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar. Não é só na vida que a vida, não é na janela que se olha. Há uma linha clara perto da saída. Fecha os olhos e você vai ver. Não é só aqui que o sol ilumina, coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra querer. Apagarão as luzes pra eu ver. Sair da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar.
In this moment,
Yes.
I cannot say what's wrong or right.
No.
It's not hard to fool me,
No.
'cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Yes.
Yeah, lead the way, I follow. No need to say
No.
where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now before the moment flies. It's not a problem,
No.
'cause I know what I'm getting into. too.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing can stop me.
No.
'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
Bobbity, bobbity, bop. We're back. Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI, the feminine and beautiful, inspirational ladies in the house. We are back in the house, and the house is packed for what's sure to be a barn freaking burner. Sure to be a barn burner today because we're going straight down the pipe, no chaser. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kevin Samuels. I'm a professional image consultant. My job is to make sure you look good, smell great, and are the best version of yourself each and every day. Microphone check 1, 2. Let's see what we got going on over here. All right, so let's pull up the show and let's get into it. Only thing I ask is, guys, keep the likes up over 50%. Let's change the title because YouTube doesn't like that word hate. So let's go ahead and change that. Because I want to make sure that this topic gets covered thoroughly. And when I mean thoroughly, I mean thoroughly. So, how many of you guys got your notifications? Did you get your notifications? I've heard people say they're not getting their notifications. And this is what happens. Like when I took vacation, because I wasn't live streaming at my consistent time, and you guys weren't popping in, YouTube looked and said, oh, they're not watching this channel anymore. So you may need to go back and click your notifications to make sure they're still on and set. All right, so we got that. Testing. So people say they are getting their notifications. So what's the reason we're doing this show tonight? Well, because I think one of the ways you handle controversy is you come straight at it. You come straight at it. And that's how, I'm not big on beefing. Beefing, it really isn't my thing. I really don't care much for beefing. But, what is that? But, something like this needs to get addressed. Oh, by the way, before I get into it, fragrance of the evening from Roja Dove, Creation R. Love that fragrance. Creation R. And you see on my desk 2 additional fragrances. Why? Because these are special ones. If you've been around any length of time, since 2015, the company Dior dropped a fragrance called Dior Sauvage. Dior Sauvage has become a bona fide compliment monster and a banger of a fragrance. For a designer fragrance, it's one of the few that I recommend that most men under 30. Now, they have different versions of that fragrance. They have the Eau de Toilette. Then they have the Eau de Parfum version, which is a little bit more concentrated, a little stronger, different note pyramid. Then they have the Parfum version, which even has more oils Then they dropped this thing right here. Dior Sauvage Elixir. This stuff, this bottle will last you a lifetime. It is so strong, but it is so good. It is so good. So Dior Elixir. If you're not one to go spend a whole lot of money on fragrances, 100, $150 is cool with you, get that. Yeah, that's still Red Bull. And this next one right here. This one, shout out to Jeremy Fragrance. Jeremy Fragrance made a fragrance by the name Yves Saint Laurent La Nuit de l'Homme Popular. This guy had a love affair with this fragrance, and I say by single-handedly, he rejuvenated this fragrance worldwide and gave it a cult-like following. And he built his platform in heavy part on the success of this fragrance. Now, this fragrance originally started out in 2009, and it came in a black bottle. Now, the thing that makes this fragrance so good is it's spicy, woody, and sweet. It's the perfect blend of masculine sexiness. Cult-like following. And the problem is, after 2017 or so, the company reformulated, changed the ingredients, and they basically ruined a masterpiece of a fragrance. So that meant that if you had a bottle from before 2015 or something, the prices of it skyrocketed. Long and short, they brought it back in a different form. This is like the McRib. Yves Saint Laurent La Nuit de l'Homme BLEU ELECTRIQUE. Now, there are 50,000 different versions of this fragrance, but just get BLEU ELECTRIQUE. And it has everything that we loved about the original fragrance. Plus, it lasts, in my opinion, longer. That is really never done in the fragrance community. Usually when something is gone, it's gone. So I wanted to let people know, if you've never been able to put your hands on the original La Nuit, get that, and in Dior Sauvage. This is for, the big boys. Creation R, Roja Dove. All right, so get the likes up, people. Get the likes up, get the likes up. We should have over 4,500 likes already. What are we into now? All right, we got the camera here. New angle. All right, let's get into this whole thing. This is Smoke Week. This is the Smoke Week. And what is a Smoke Week? Smoke Week is usually where I usually do a free smoke show, but I'm doing Smoke Week because there are some things that I believe need to be discussed. And like sooner or later, when you do a program like this, there's always like conversations that happen after this show, and then things take on a life of their own, and not everybody's able to get in to the conversation. So people oftentimes take one concept they think they heard and run with it. And that's what tends to happen with anybody. But especially, I've seen it more with my platform. People will now think about it. Think about this. Since coronavirus, let's go back to arguably May of 2020. Well, not even before May of 2020. January of 2020. Start doing this show. 5 days a week, 2 to 3 hours a day. Let's just call it, for simple math, 2 hours a day. That's 10 hours a week. Okay? It's 10 hours a week. And that is for 50 weeks. That alone is over 500 hours of content. And we're into September, midway through September, and we're looking about, a shit ton of content. 5,000, 10 hours a week, 40 hours a month. Yeah, 500 hours of content. And that's on the low side. Many shows went over 3 hours. Then there's the pre-recorded stuff, then there's places that I've been. So I want to say this. Number one, to my critics and detractors, I would love to see you put out over 500 hours of content and never misspeak. I mean, I think we get to be at a point to where it's hyperbolic, to where somebody will say, remember, no, he said something back in February 2020 at the 5 minute and 52-second mark. And I'm curious because I heard somebody say this. It's like, now, wait a minute. You'll listen to a part of a 7-minute clip, and then you'll be on a 7-hour panel, and then you don't watch the content versus going to do your own homework. I understand that most people got other things to do. So I'm going to address some things that I think are rather controversial. And one of the biggest controversies I tend to hear is, I hate women. Kevin Samuels hates women. He's a misogynist. He's a misogynist, and he hates black women in particular. Who hurt you? This is where the whole sign language came from. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. Keep the lights up, folks. So we're going to get into it. Black women, let's talk about it. Do I hate you? Oh, first day with the new lips. I normally don't do ice in the Red Bull, but this is going to be hot here tonight. So what I find interesting is how disingenuous and how bad faith so many of my critics and detractors are. You and I, anybody can make anyone look bad by taking a clip. Let me take a highlight reel of your life, and I guarantee you I can make you look like shit. If you've had a career in anything, there are highlights and lowlights. And if people can string together your bloopers, misspeaks, changes in position, whatever. And see, I'll tell you this one thing in the black community, we have this bad. We act like people cannot evolve over time or have changes in positions as more information comes in. I'm going to tell you right now, my positions are subject to change and evolve with new information. If that's not how you rock, if you one of these, I said it 2 + 2 was 4 in 1915 and it's the same today, then go somewhere else. Over here, we are people of math. We are people of language. We are people of study. We are people who take our ideas and we'll put them out in the marketplace, challenge them, tweak them, and bring back and make a new, better product. So when someone says, well, wait a minute, there was a time where you said something over here about this, and now you're saying something different. Welcome to reality. That's called being an adult. You know who doesn't change positions with new information, better information? Fools. And unfortunately, in our community, in our culture, in our country, that rock-ribbed, I must double down kind of thing has really done, people have mythologized idiocracy. I'm not that way. This platform is a platform for men. I am on this channel to help men get the best outcomes for their lives. And men, the majority of men want to be in relationships and they want women. So as a competent professional, I am going to serve the market. Just like when I was image consultant for men and an image consultant for women, I am a professional. And if you know a professional, they can do their job. Go ask your doctor, do you really care about your doctor's political beliefs? Do you care about his religious beliefs? Or do you care that he can actually help you get well? So let's start out number one. I am a consultant. Coach, consultant. I'm not a man of God. I believe in God, but I'm not a man of the cloth. I am not a therapist.
I'm a PhD.
I'm not a therapist. I'm not a clinician. I have extensive study in the human mind, sociology, psychology, anthropology, but that's for my own edification and some training behind the scenes. But I often recommend people to clinicians. So number one, if you ever hear someone saying that he should have did this instead of that, tell them he is a consultant. He's a coach. He's a consultant. He's not here for your feelings. Raise your hand if you've ever played any sports. If you've ever played any sports or any martial arts, anything like that, I want you guys to think about Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, one of the most dominant big men of all time. But he was not the best free throw shooter. I guarantee you, when Shaquille O'Neal humbled himself to get help on the free throws, the coach didn't go in and say, come on, big guy, do it this way. Good coaches know how to put their foot square in your shoulder blades and insert their foot square up your butt to get production out of you. Many of you have never been coached at any level, and I believe in coaching. I'm an academic coach. Whatever you have in life, you should have some coaching in the martial arts, whatever. So if you've never been in any kind of coaching, you've never been in any kind of discipline. And especially if you're raised in a household that's very liberal, then the things that a coach or a consultant may say may shock you. So I am grateful that more and more professional people are starting to find their way over to these sectors, because you'll see doctors, attorneys, physicians, accountants, engineers, real estate salespeople, truckers, contractors, and they will tell you, you don't have time on a deep sea rig. You don't have time when you're doing a blowout protector. You don't have time when you're working in the deep sea well. You don't have time when you're on the work site, when you're up under contractual pressure to coddle somebody's effing feelings. Understand that, number one, I am a coach. I'm a consultant. I also reflect what's given back to me. I mirror, as good coaches and consultants often do. So number one, anytime somebody reaches out to me, they're reaching out to me for my professional opinion or advice in what I'm holding myself out to be. And whether you like it or not, whether you think I have the right credentials or not, I've got enough work in the field for you to be able to shut your freaking mouth. You can't go to school to learn what it is that I do. There's no degree program on the planet that can make you competent at this level. This is earned. So all this, whose school did he go to, whatever, did you sit down? You're foolish. Some of the very people you revere the most in the Black community are the elders. And they got there because they have knowledge, acquired knowledge, and useful knowledge, which is called wisdom. So I'm a coach, I'm a consultant. I'm not here for your feelings. I mirror when I get back. I'm also running a program. I have to keep things on a kind of a schedule, kind of a structure. So there are a lot of things going on at one time. And more importantly, if someone wants my considered advice in a personal way or a private way, they are free to book a session. But coming to my program is coming to my program to get a taste of what I do for free. That is a choice that you make. And every time I talk to someone, I don't worry about the chat room. You haven't even seen me address the chat room. I am doing my professional, considered best. So let's bring us full circle. Do I hate women? Do I hate women, Black women in particular? That's foolish. Hell no. No, I don't hate women. Matter of fact, I'm probably your best advocate, ladies. You know why? You know why? You ready? Ready, everybody? Ladies, you ready? You want to know why I'm probably one of your best advocates? Because I'm a feminist. That's right. That's right. That's right. Now, don't go in here talking crazy. Barbie girl, what'd you do? You got timed out by wrench? Now, understand, don't be putting a lot of emojis and things in there. Come on, y'all. New lips, I'm still tripping. Okay. Yeah, that's all right. Wrench, light account. Barbie girl, Tina, she's cool. All right. I'm a feminist. I am a feminist. Shout out. Let me see. I'm starting to read some of these questions. Continue speaking the truth. If someone that the truth is, okay, appreciate it. I'm a feminist. I am a feminist. Now, if you've ever seen the movie The Devil's Advocate, Kind of like when Al Pacino played the devil on Keanu Reeves. He said, I'm a humanist. Many women probably like, you're not a feminist. Yes, I am. Because feminism, at its core, is not about equality as much as it is about choice. Women want the ability to choose and make decisions for their lives. I am a feminist. I want women to be able to choose and make decisions for their lives. I also want women to be responsible for the choices they make. How can you say somebody hates women who sits up here and talks to women day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, for nonstop? For my critics to say I hate women is a purposeful misreading of hundreds of thousands of hours of content. For someone to say I hate women is a willful, ignorant position. I heard somebody say the other night, this one sister was talking about how listening to me helped her understand how lucky she was to have her husband when she was thinking all this, I'm going to get out here and get back out on the dating scene as a divorcee with several kids. And she asked a question and she said, I'm just kind of curious because there was this other woman on the panel and this woman was just kind of going in saying, he said this, he said that. And of course, he said the black women are the most unattractive on the planet, which I absolutely did not say that. See, what they'll do is they'll take what I say and they'll take it, one, out of context, two, switch words around, and then three, when you ask them for proof, they will tell you they have the link. They will tell you they have something, and they never produce it. So when my critics and detractors say I said something, all they need to do is I don't want to hear it, just show me where he said it. And I want to see the full clip, not just the clip. I want to see the clip of a clip of a clip or a TikTok. I want to see the clip. I want to see the whole thing. And the sister said, you mean to tell me you heard he said this bad thing, you heard he said this bad thing, but you didn't hear when he said this and he said this? You didn't hear the 10 or 11 times during the broadcast where he recommends therapy? You haven't heard where he says we're better together than alone? He hasn't. I mean, it's funny, like all the positive stuff that happens, you have these, and let's be honest, they're doing it for their own personal reasons. Most people are just trying to make content. Now, hey, I get it. My name is buzzing in the algorithm. So if you're a content creator, if you don't think content creators use my name to try to make content to make some money, if you honestly think they care about what they're saying, no, they'll say, a lot of these folks will say whatever they need to draw more people in just to have a powwow session to keep the meter running. So I want you to think about some of these panels and some of these shows that are going around. I want you to just imagine if you've ever been in a cab before where they just got the meter running, that's what they're doing. They're just keeping the meter running. Kevin Samuels hates women and eats babies. Come on in, let's talk about it on StreamYards. Let's talk about it on just sitting there. Me sitting there washing dishes, talking to, yeah. And then, and funny thing is, and then they get mad when I strike the video. Like, you can't play my video to keep the meter running to talk about me. You know why it makes it difficult for the folks to say I hate, makes it hard for them to position that I hate women? Because too many women are being helped. Too many women are being helped. Too many women are saying they have a better outcome. Too many women are starting to stand up. So this is simply just another attempt to just stop this whole conversation. Why? To all my critics and detractors to say I hate this, what do you have for these women? You got this petition, you got this for that. Okay, if we went ahead and Thanos snapped it all away, then what? What you got? What do you got for women? These women you care so much about. So many of you women, black women, seem like you care so much about sisters. Well, you know what? Let's remember this, folks. When I was gone for 2 weeks, What did you hear on YouTube? Oh yeah, a lot of content creators had nothing to talk about. So, ladies, I want you to So, I just want you to know we see you. We see that you want to. There is a multi-million-dollar industry, content industry around responding to me, and that's cool. There are parodies, which is fine. Um, there are all kinds of things. Comedians respond. And look, you cannot, and you cannot sit in this chair. You cannot choose to go on to a platform and complain about people responding to you, parodying you, memeing you, whatever. You choose to become a public figure, and you take everything that comes with it. But the only thing I'm saying is the things that are coming with it that are disingenuous, outright falsehoods and lies, this is going to be my definitive stance on it. So I want you guys to direct anybody back to the he hates women thing. Direct them to this video. I'm addressing it for the 15th time, but this will be here. No, I do not hate women. I want to see a better outcome for women. And a better outcome for women is when women actually have the choice to be with men if they choose to be. There are plenty of women who want to choose to be with a man, want to choose to be in a committed, emotionally profound, significant relationship to where they build family, legacy, and community. But many women feel as though they can't even say these things because if they say it around their friends and their friends may not want the same thing, these women are shouted down savage. This is why you get the whole pick me, this, that, such, and so forth. That is why so many women are gravitating to this program. Women often say, well, I don't know why women go over there because they can hear the truth. Now, shout out to you, Hey Big Head. Hey Big Head, how you doing? Hey Big Head. Hey Big Head. Y'all remember who Hey Big Head is all the way up there? Hey Big Head. Funny thing happened the other day. I'm seeing a video go around. Now this woman, 45 years old, with 5 kids, and what is it? I'm gonna read it to you. 45 years old with 5 kids, and let's just go ahead and read that, shall we? She's 45, has 5 kids, and she wants a man that's 6'5". And that's also added that she wants an additional 6th child, but she wants a man with no baby mama drama. And the one upside is she's not requiring that he is a high value man. But like I said, you can't make this stuff up. This happened on Instagram. Ain't that right, Big Head? And the funny thing is, the woman who came on saying this stuff, I've seen her before. I think she was on this show. Honestly, I have to go back to the archive, but I know she's been on. I'm almost positive because she had a blonde hair, blonde wig. Now she may not have made it to the actual YouTube, but I believe she's been on Zoom. And the funny thing is, the woman whose show she came on just gave her some advice. Hey, I think you need to see a therapist. I think a therapist will be good. I think a therapist may help you out. And you know what happened? The women tore her apart. You shamed that woman. You said this. You said that. You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. To the point where this woman is like, well, wait a minute. Hold up. When I'm going in on the men, y'all are here for it. But if I just recommend to the sister that I got a great resource and a black woman who's a professional therapist that's outside of my lane, I think you'd be good. And I want to say thank you for doing that. Because that's what we need. We need more people, not just telling people what they want to hear, offering them solutions. That's why I always sit back and say therapy, 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 therapy. You cannot tell me that after watching over a year and a half worth of content, that there is not something askew or miss with the typical modern woman today in the way she looks and deals in relationships. And you cannot tell me that there's something askew when you can't even just tell a woman the observable, undeniable truth and not be called something. And what so many of my critics are starting to realize is they thought it was about my tone. No, it's not about tone. It's about truth. So the only way you can make this statement work to say that I hate women, that I hate black women, is if you say that hate means speaking the truth. But I want to hear from you. This is where my critics and detractors can call in. This is where and to all the super chat people, I love you. I appreciate you guys. This is important. I don't want people who agree with me. Today, if you agree with me, appreciate it. I want to clear the line, clear the board for the women in general, black women in particular, who feel like I hate you. I got an axe to grind with you. Call in, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Only a couple of things. One, I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. Two, you got to respect the platform and not drone on. You got to get to the point. Three, and most importantly, you cannot overtalk me. That makes a bad show. Okay? Damn, she's attractive. Another thing, let's get this out on the road. Hate black women? No. Hate single mothers? No, my mother was a single mother. Are you kidding? But I also understand that one time, with the amount of birth control today, no child gets born without a woman deciding to have a child. But that's your choice. If you want to have a child outside of wedlock, fine. But you also accept everything that comes along with it. It decreases every woman's sexual marketplace value. I know there are women out there who will tell you it's stepdaddy season and such and so forth. Do not think that because one can do it, you can all do it. It has a lot to do with your sexual marketplace value. And having a child lowers a woman's sexual marketplace value. So it's not about disliking or hating single mothers. No, it's about what do you want and what can you get? And what are you willing to do to get what you want? That's really what it comes down to. For men and for women, for us all, it's fine to want something, but then are you willing to work to get the thing that you want? Now, there are things I have an opinion about, a preference about. You know, I have a preference. I don't prefer women who weigh more than me. I don't. I never have. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not the norm for the male of the species to want women that are larger than them. We'll call this thing phobias and this and that. No, absolutely not. And candle of the evening. I'm sorry, I forgot. Tom Ford fucking fabulous. Now, of course, there's some guys who like I like women that are this, that are like a little bit more curvy and this and such and so forth. Gentlemen, understand something. Do you think you're really helping the situation? Because if that's your personal preference, fine. But stop telling women that your personal preference is the norm when you know it is not. Ladies, make no mistake. A man wants to be able to pick you up, carry you, and manipulate you. He wants to be able to carry his intended across the threshold. Every day I go out in this world and I have men saying, thank you for telling the truth. Keep saying it. They got blue check marks by their name. They got C's in their title. They have PhDs. They got everything else. Look, of all stripes, ladies, men want women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless. That's it. Across the board. Men in the West, men in the East. Black, white, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, and other. And I will say this, as an aside, there's a lot been made of what's going on in Afghanistan with the resurgence of the Taliban and the return to the patriarchy per se. Ladies, the patriarchy for all its flaws and imperfections, has made the world, this modern world that you live in. There is no perfect system. Democracy is not perfect. Capitalism isn't perfect. But patriarchy is definitely better than matriarchy when it comes to producing results. Look at what's going on in the Netherlands and Sweden. The most egalitarian place on the planet, where they've tried to socially engineer stuff. And when you leave people alone, men sort themselves this way, women sort themselves that way. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Since I hate y'all so much, no, we're not even doing the music run in. We're just gonna do it now. Only women. Here's the thing: you must be on camera on Zoom. I must be able to see you on Zoom. If you don't want to be on camera on Zoom,
recording in progress.
If you don't want to be on the camera on Zoom, that's fine. You can request to not be on YouTube. But I will tell you that if you end up on YouTube, you've already waived your privacy. I'm going to say this too, people. Going forward, y'all might as well expect to be getting on camera. With the amount of shows and streams that are popping up online, it is unreasonable to expect to be able to come onto a place and have a pseudonym, an avatar, and then want to just be heard freely. It's not really fair to everybody else. It makes for bad programming. So if you want to be heard, do us all a favor and be at least presentable to the camera. Now, very few people have security reasons. You ain't working for the Secret Service. So, here we go. Actually, I am going to take a slight break. Go grab me something to drink real quick. And we'll get this kicking. Because I want to be able to do this well. There's a note. What you gonna do? I like that. Critics and detractors only. Critics and detractors only. Women, no men. Critics and detractors only. Moderators, keep the chat room free of debris, foolishness, and things like that. Let me go ahead and pin this link up here.
What you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to the knees and show gratitude. Kiss my ring, chick. This song right here is for all the fellas out there taking care of business and making that money to provide for their ladies, provide for their family. And to all the ladies out there, the fellas gonna need a little bit more than a big piece of chicken. If you got a good man and you want for nothing, and you want to keep that man, you need to learn how to check that attitude. You need to show some appreciation. You need to show some respect. Girl, you need to bow down. All my fellas, tell your ladies. Bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Kiss the ring, bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Pay homage to the king in your life. Wisdom and security, I give that. Devotion and honesty, I show that. Passion and love, you feel that? Bow down, girl, you need to show some respect. Obedience and loyalty, I need that. Friendship and trust, I've earned that. Gratitude, appreciation, I deserve that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Baby girl, what's the deal? Got no time for freaking girl, you're acting mad. Never want for nothing cause I'm paying the bill. Sleeping all day, the house is filthy. No meal. Come on, girl, give me some feedback. Let me know what's good, what's up. Where's your head at? Giving me attitude, not today, girl. Dead that. Strip off them clothes, I'm trying to beat that. Bed that. You're really saying not tonight? Not tonight. My blood is boiling hot, girl. You're getting me tight. Aw, man. To the right. Don't let that door hit your ass when you leave. You talking like you hot, you not. Shorty, I know dime pieces, trust me, you not. I can get a next chick, next one. Like Gucci said, in the next 15 minutes. You ain't special, don't be foolish. Running around town like you rich, no, I'm rich. Without me, you wouldn't Scrooge McDuck swimming in money. Hold my top hat. Park Avenue lifestyle, you love it. You're acting out of order and now you're gonna lose it. You claim that you're in love with me, in love with me. You wanna be my wifey. That's looking pretty bleak, unlikely. You should've paid homage, girl. You fucked up, can't do it. No more, I'm done. I'm fed up. Game over, clock ran out. Girl, your time's up. Get your things, have a nice life. Keep your head up like Shaq and Kobe was a good team. But now we broke up, should've bowed to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Kiss the ring, bow to me, kneel for me, kneel for me. Pay homage to the king in your life. Wisdom and security, I give that. Devotion and honesty, I show that. Passion and love, you feel that? Bow down, girl, you need to show some respect. Obedience and loyalty, I need that. Friendship and trust, I've earned that. Gratitude, appreciation, I deserve that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Come on, girl, you know you love it. Stop tripping in front and no shame to do it. All I do for you, bow down, kiss that. Pucker up, girl, you need to show some respect. Come on, girl, you know you love it. Stop tripping in front and no shame to do it. All I do for you, girl, you know you better kiss that. Bow down, pay homage to the king in your life. Come on, you know you love it. Come on, you know you love it. What you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to them knees and show gratitude. Come on, you know you love it. Come on, girl, you know you love it. What you gonna do when highlight catch an attitude? Drop to the knees and show gratitude. Kiss my ring, chick.
All right. I think I said no. I said no men. I don't know why, guys. If you're a guy and you're in here, I'm gonna just boot you up. All right. Clearly said ladies only. You go bye-bye. All right. So let me hide myself. So June, your thing is kind of foggy. Can't really see you. Darshea, go ahead.
Good evening.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. How old are you?
35.
All right. So, just a second. How long have you been watching my platform?
I've actually not ever made it through a full set of videos by you. My boyfriend sends me snippets of things he wants me to see for us to have discussion on.
And you're how old again?
35.
35. So, why do you think I hate women?
So I do think there are some things that I've heard you say that I agree with regarding women of today. I'm not using that term modern women. I think that's foolery. But I do think that
I gotta ask, why?
Because people evolve. So men of 1800 aren't the men of 1900, but you're not using a modern man.
But we talk about the modern era.
Okay.
We talk about modern. Hold on, man. Hold on. We gotta be intellectually honest. We talk about modern conveniences. The internet didn't exist, TV. So how is saying something is modern foolery when it's accurate?
Because it's the rhetoric of how you are labeling women.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. See, words mean things.
Yes,
what
they
does
do,
modern,
sir.
What does modern mean?
It is newer, and I am not disagreeing with the meaning of modern. I am disagreeing with how you present that to women. When you say things like the modern woman.
I present it as it is. You are modern women.
So let me ask you a question, because
okay, ma'am. Before we do that, modern, relating to the present or recent times as opposed to the remote past.
Okay.
That's the definition.
Thank you, Merriam-Webster. But
that is what we don't do.
So here's what
that is what we don't do.
Here's what we do.
That is what we don't do. Now, I've already set the ground rules. That is what we don't do. So either you can rein it back in or I'll bid you a good night. Because if you have a problem with language and the dictionary, then you got a bigger issue than this. Bro, you might got problems on your hand. You want to try this again? Because like I said, I'm cool with you, but you cannot, one, don't come in here trying to be rude because I haven't done that to you. Be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. And just don't overtalk me. That's it. You want to try this again? Let's go ahead.
So I do think we should discuss.
Are we clear on the whole notion of modern and foolery? Because here's the thing, ma'am. Ma'am,
I don't
please,
want to
please,
argue
please.
modern.
Okay, well, see, this again. I need to be clear. I want to talk to somebody who's being reasonable. And if you
How
have
am
a
I
problem,
unreasonable?
okay, I'm going to try this one more time. If you have a problem with me calling something as it is and is defined, calling it foolery, then there's really nothing to discuss because you're just in your feelings and about opinions, and we can't debate that.
So so let me be clear. We are debating the fact that the topic is that we think Black women think that you hate Black women. Is that correct?
No, I'm not. You and I are talking about you calling modern women foolery.
Yes. So I made a statement that is true, and I did say that I believe the rhetoric was
It's not
foolery, but
fool,
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that,
but
right?
it's
Because
not foolery. It's not
right, but
foolery. It's accurate.
that
It's accurate. I need you to understand, people. How do you get anywhere when you can't even get out of the blocks because 2 plus 2 being 4 is disagreeable? So, I'll go on to someone else. Maybe you want to calm down. I mean, did I miss anything here, people? I mean, did I miss anything in here? I don't get it. I don't get it. You want to argue on the definition of what is means. Can't do that. All right. June, let's go ahead and see how you're doing.
Hi, Kevin. Can you hear me okay?
I can. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you, June?
I am 46.
Okay. Why do you think I hate women or hate Black women? Either one.
Well, I did disobey a little bit. I don't think that you hate Black women, but my therapist does.
Okay. Are you speaking on her behalf?
A little bit. Well, yeah. Well, more on a little bit. No,
Okay.
not
Okay. Well, I'm only dealing with disagreement. So you're going to see a therapist for what?
past trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that I called was this, Kevin. I had an antidote. My mother died 2 weeks ago. And I showed her an episode of your show after arguing with my therapist who hates you.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat down with my mother and showed her the episode Winter is Coming.
Mm-hmm.
This was literally a week before my mother died. My mother apologized to me, and she said that we did lie to you all. We fed you a lie. And as I was cleaning out my mother's belongings, I found a wedding album of my great-great-grandmother and their 50th wedding anniversary. I then found an album of my grandmother's 50th wedding anniversary. And then I found 4 wedding albums of my mother for different men.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, and since we're your therapist,
Yes,
is your therapist single?
she is, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And
Any
she's a
children?
mom.
Any children?
None.
And has she ever admitted to watching one of my broadcasts end to end?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And
Well, people aren't. Here's the thing. Um, I have a lot of people, a lot of therapists who watch me. Uh, but I would ask if your therapist is getting therapy herself. Number one, number two, if if what she dislikes has anything to do with the truth, then I don't. Those two things are contradictory to me because you cannot be a person who's supposed to be believing in the truth and then have a problem with the truth no matter how it's said. But here's the thing: I got to get to the next part. I did kind of break the rule because I want to let you say what you did, but I'm glad that you got that bit of relief from your mother, and
and I think
it is a stark contrast 50-50 then four different marriages. That's a big contrast.
and I thank you for having that moment of closure with her. I thank you.
You're welcome.
You saved me a lot of money on therapy.
Well, keep at it. Appreciate it. Bye bye. Okay, see, I'm gonna tell you, I have often heard people who say their therapist dislikes me. Therapists are people too, okay, folks. Therapists are people too. And if go ahead, I see you guys in the Zoom call. I mean, in the Ask Godfather link. Hello,
Hi,
Megan.
how are you? How are
I'm
you?
good. How old are you?
I'm 35.
Are you smoking?
No, I am burning sage to cleanse the energy.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm burning Palo Santo as well, so I'm
Listen,
cleansing out. I'm cleansing it just as well. So,
yeah,
How many? How long have you watched my platform?
I just found you today.
Well, then you really can't. Then okay. Have you watched one of my broadcasts end to end?
Yeah.
All right, then why do you think I hate black women?
I didn't know today's topic was going to be on that, but it's interesting because I definitely kept having that thought reoccurring in my mind as I was watching you. I just don't feel like you operate with empathy and kindness, and I just feel like everything is directed to black women, and it's I don't still think you're that nice.
What have you watched this from the beginning today?
Today. But
So
I
when
don't
did you?
think you're that
Hold on,
nice.
hold on. When did you come in?
When you shared the Zoom link. I was
Okay.
actually
But
researching.
hold on, because I covered this. I'm a
What
coach and a consultant. I'm not
are you
here to be.
licensed? Are you licensed?
I'm
Or are
a
you
coach. Look. I let you speak. We don't do
are
that.
you licensed?
All right, you are not going to overtalk me. You're just with your sage and everything else. See, what you tend to find is a common strain in women like this. Y'all can burn your sage and your incense, but all this about you're not nice, and then you come on here acting this way. What do you expect to get? I mean, what do y'all expect to get? No, I muted you because you're not going to overtalk me. I was very clear. You're not going to overtalk me. That's rude. So I'll unmute you if you can try to have a reasoned conversation. Do you have any children?
No, babe.
All right. Now, are you licensed? You don't get a license to be an image consultant.
Oh, you're an image consultant. I thought you said you were a therapist and a coach. So are you a coach? Or
Okay, stop. I've already saad I'm an image consultant and a life
but
coach. You
you said
don't
you
have
were,
to, no, you cannot overtalk me.
so you are not a licensed coach or a licensed.
No, and I never held myself
You're
out
not.
to be one. You're French toast mine. I don't know why people like her think that makes a difference. Because you're not a licensed, but you're doing a real good job at your profession right now, which is being foolish. So you're not really here in good faith. And like I said, I use people like this as an example. They come in with little to no information, skip right into the conflict. But I guarantee you, she'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. And that's where you need to be. Because someone needs to tell women who are so disagreeable that it's not helping you get the things you want out of life. It's not helping you. I don't. So you're not licensed. what state licenses image consultants and life coaches? Oh! Whew. Got me. Got me. All right, so here's how we're going to do this. Lexie, whoever this is, Sade, if you're not on camera, you can't be on. Hello?
Hello,
Hello? How are you?
I'm good.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. How long have you been watching my program?
A couple months now.
Couple of months. All right. Why do you think or feel as though I hate black women?
I don't feel that you hate all Black women. I feel like it's only a certain part. Um, when I say that, I mean more of the stereotypical Black women who are loud, obnoxious, and quite rude, very combative. Those women are the ones that you don't particularly care for, because there are different sets. It's not just one.
Okay. Well, I don't, okay. Hate is a strong word, but let's take that particular subset. Who has the opposite feeling of hate for those women?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand. Could you
Well,
repeat
well, if
that?
you, I don't use the word hate. I mean, you say I don't hate all black women. I just have a dislike or disdain or distaste for the stereotypical blah 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 blah. Right?
Yes,
Okay, who likes them?
nobody.
Okay, well, so I'm kind of in step with the norm.
Of course.
So, is there an issue there though? I mean,
Not for me, because I don't feel like I am that type of woman, but I have been listening to your shows, and some of the things you do say did represent me, of course. And as of now, me listening and getting to know your channel a little bit more, I do try to change myself and try to make it better so that I'm not that
so
typical
you
Black
really
woman.
okay. So thank you. So
You're
you really
welcome.
don't have a conflict. You were just okay. What I'm trying to do
I
is,
used to before.
uh, or what changed?
I started realizing stuff about myself that was exactly what you were saying. And if you didn't like it and I didn't like it, how could I expect somebody else to like it and then them just be okay with it? That's not how
Okay,
things work.
okay, so well, and that's kind of what happens with my program. When people finally sit down and listen, they find out that it's really more to than just the sound effects and anything else. But I appreciate you coming in. Let me get to the next person. Who are we at right now? iPhone. Unmute yourself. Go ahead, unmute yourself. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
30.
30. All right. And I don't have a name here, so
Trishana.
okay, Trishana. Why do you think or feel as though I hate black women?
I don't think you hate black women.
All right. All right. Well, do you have a conflict? Because this is only for people who have conflicts or disagreements.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it. All right. So look, I got to keep it to the people who think I hate or have a disdain or something else like that. Because here it is. Here's the thing. I'll go back to the woman that was just previously on. Guys, understand there are always going to be people who are just wanting to argue. Hold on, I'll get you. Your last name is Sade. Your microphone's not connected. You can't speak. You turn on your audio. You would be amazed at how many so-called therapists, clinicians who are female who dislike me. And they dislike me because they are.
I'm a PhD.
And they're single as French toast and their relationships are bad. And it's not, and they don't like me because they know what I'm saying is more accurate. Now, here's the thing, Jada, wait. All right. All right. Hello.
You told me to
What?
wave. Yeah, I did.
All right. Are
Hi.
you? Hello. How are you?
What do you say?
Okay. I said, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Do you have the TV on, or is this on another something else?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you need to only have on the call so we don't get background looping.
Okay. Is that
All right.
better?
Sure, I think so. And is it just me, or is there other people in the room?
It's just me.
All right. So, uh, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. So, why do you think I hate women or black women?
Well, for one, the show that you had with other races of women, where they were kind of like critiquing, like, and talking about how they felt about black women and like why they, what their issues and stuff were. I felt like, to me, that kind of, you were kind of like putting other races of women on like this pedestal and like inviting them to talk about
What was the title of the
black women.
show?
Huh?
What was the title of the show?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
If it,
just talking about what I saw from the
well,
show. I
what? But
don't
I'm saying, what was the title of the show? Because if that was the show title,
I don't know what the title of the show is.
all
I'm
right.
just
So it's
telling
been
you.
recent. It's been recently. It's been within the last several months.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been watching my platform?
Um. Mm, maybe close to a year.
Mm-hmm. Close to a year. Have you ever seen me allow non-black women to come in and freely check or discuss black women?
Not since, no, not. I mean, the episode I saw or
Hmm.
video I saw,
Have
that
you
was
ever seen non-black women come into my show attempting to criticize, chastise, or check black women?
non-black women.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm. Then I don't think you've been watching it hard enough. Because oftentimes when non-black women come in, I will check that shit down immediately, and even my critics and detractors will tell you that. I don't allow
Oh,
non-black women to come in here and talk about black women. Never have. The one show in particular you're talking about, as we were talking about interracial dating, and that was an open platform regarding that topic. But what you're saying, ma'am, I have at least 8 shows out there where this has happened. So if you've been watching me for a year, I don't see how you saw that show, but you didn't see any other stuff.
okay. So that show particularly, from what I saw from it, because I watching the whole thing kind of made me upset, so I didn't even watch the whole thing.
Okay, but that's okay. Okay, so first of all, can anybody critique you, or can only black women critique you? Let's talk about that. Because let's just grant the argument. Let's just grant the argument. Let's just say, for the sake of what you're saying, that I allowed non-black women to come in and discuss. What were they discussing?
Um, well, I saw it was women who weren't black, and they were uh just talking about like why they felt, or what they felt like black women were lacking as far as being like partners in relationships,
Uh huh.
and the qualities that they felt that they like lacked, or um it was just negative. It's just like a lot of negative
Okay, hold
qualities.
on, but no, 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 no. I want to make sure we have the right show, because you're saying that they were discussing their interactions with black women and what black
No, I
women
didn't.
were lacking. Okay, so what you can't do is you can't just come in and say something blanket like that and not have specifics. What you're telling me is you saw non-black women on the show talking about black women and you felt some kind of way. But you can't tell me what they said.
I just, I mean, okay, I just said that they were talking. I didn't say about their experiences with Black women. I was talking about, they were talking about what they felt Black women lacked as far as being like partners, and what they felt like why Black
Mm-hmm.
women weren't married or something like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
why it was
And that was the show topic.
okay.
That was the topic of the show. That's why they were there.
I
We've
thought you said it
also
was interracial.
that it was a the show was about why non-black women are coming or trying to be more attracted towards black men. But see, I'm interested though because you said you watched me for a year. Then if you watched me for a year, you had to have seen me talk to white women, non-black women, with the same level I've talked to black women. Yes
I
or
don't
no?
watch each and every one of your shows, but I've never seen. Well, most of the time, whenever I see callers, it's mostly Black women, anyways. I've never really seen you speak to a bunch of like non-Black women before. Before that show that I
So
saw.
you never seen me? Okay, so now you're being okay. Now I'm no disrespect, but you're being disingenuous. So you watch my show for a year, and over the course of a year, I've had at least 4 videos to go viral with talking to white women. 2 are up on World Star right now, both with over 1 million views. So whether you watch my show or not, these things went viral. And I give them the same thing I give everybody. See, what you're trying to do, young lady, is part of the issue. You don't have all the information. You just see what you see something that you didn't like the way it felt. But was what was being discussed accurate?
You said, was it accurate?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was completely accurate. But
And then
even
tell
if
me what
it
was
was,
tell me what was inaccurate.
just some of the. I mean, I don't know any of the like specifics of like the women were saying like off the top of my head, but some of the
Okay.
specifics
So
like
you
things that they
don't
were
know of
saying
any
about Black.
specific. So you're going to say it's not accurate, but you can't give me any specifics, ma'am. Do you not make room for the fact you just saw a black man talking with non-black women on the show, and they were talking about what you perceive about black women, and they were saying about their interactions, dealings with black women in their life, in their work world,
Do you
or
have like a?
hold on. And you're not backing any of this up. I'm trying to get you to say what the issue was, but it really gets down to the fact that I just saw you talking to some white women, and I didn't like what I felt like they were saying. But you can't even say what they said.
Okay, well, even if the things they let's just I like so I can't give you specifics on what they said, but let's just say that what they were saying was accurate. Do
Mm-hmm.
you not feel a little still by inviting other women, women of color to say things about Black women? Do you still, even if what they're saying is true, do you not still feel like something should be kept within the realm of like Black people speaking about these things, or
No.
especially in other? Okay.
No, because I've done that. See, that's the thing. And what I want you folks to understand is even at what I've done, if you watch my show, you know for a fact there have been multiple times non-black women have called into my show and started try to talk about black women, and I shut that shit down with prejudice harshly and tell them you don't get free reign to come over here and talk about black women. That's in-house stuff. Go in the chat room. People will tell you that happens all the time. But the one show where we talked about why non-black women are starting to check for black men and their interactions with black women in the dating market. And it's like, well, yes. What it really seems to me, young lady, is black women don't want to be we're supposed to keep it in the house. No one's supposed to say nothing.
That's not what I said.
Well, then what do you think's supposed to happen? Because I got news for you. Other people, non-black people interact with non-black, non-men. I mean, women interact with y'all too, and they're saying some of the same things that black men are saying.
I just think that it kind of contradicts itself whenever you say that you say that you're an advocate for Black women,
No, it doesn't
and then you
contradict
can
itself
do
when you have
something.
a battery of work. No, ma'am. See that? Now that's bullshit. This whole if it's not 100%, it's nothing. That's fucking bullshit. Now I'm saying I've been as nice as possible, but I can tell you I've had plenty of shows to where I've done black, 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 and this is it. It's either absolute value, it's all or none, and you can't even tell me what you're talking about. You can't even tell me one thing that was said that you object to. One statement. Do you think that's a fair argument?
Do you feel that me as a black woman, if
Do
I
you
were
think? No, I
to,
asked you a question. You don't respond to a question with a question. You answer the question first, and I respond to yours.
okay, can you reword the question again? Say it again.
Do you think
What's your question?
you can't even say what the issue was? You can't even give me a specific as to what you object to. Do you think a non-specific, unverified, nebulous concept is a fair argument?
The question that you posed was,
Are
why
they
do I think
taking
that you hate?
the show? The show aired. The show you're talking about, July 17th. Are white women taking good, high value men? Is the show you talked about?
Mhm. And you
Black
want me to
women.
go watch the video from July and tell you
Well,
the
I want you to
specifics of
know
these
what
things?
I want you. I want you to know what you're talking about. See, what you did, young lady, is you. First of all the work I've done, you said you've been watching for a year, and what you're telling me is all the work I've done over the year, especially when non-black women will come in here and try to tell me, well, let me tell you what I think about black women, or this or that, and I shut that shit down. In the comment section, I want you guys to remark how many times you've seen me do this. Black women, I want you to remark how many times you've seen me shut down white women, especially that one Jewish woman that came in. I damn near had to have a lawsuit behind this shit. And all that.
Okay.
No. And then one show where it's talking about, and the title was, are white women taking all the good high value men? And I had to take that out of the title because of the algorithm. That's what the show was about, because black women often say all the high value men are going with white women. That's what the show was about.
Okay. Were white women bashing black women on that show?
No. First of all, what is bash?
Bashing, were they saying negative things about black
Were
women
they
on the show?
saying, no, see, bash and true can't be the same. That's one of the problems we have today with so many modern women. You guys play slick and loose with language. Is the truth bashing?
So everything they were saying
Is the
was
truth
facts.
bash? No. See, what you did, and answering a question with a question is disingenuous. See
No,
how
I
this is?
don't think that the truth is equal to bashing. No.
Well, then why would you? So is what they were saying true?
I don't think that everything they said was true.
I didn't say everything they said was. You notice how? See, here it goes, guys. See, here it goes. When you hold them to a standard, I said what they were saying was true. I don't know whether everything. Did I say everything? Why don't you just admit you don't know what you're talking about and you were wrong? How come you just can't admit, you know what, I was mistaken, sir? I didn't see what I thought I saw. I got in my feelings when I saw some white women up there saying some stuff. I didn't even listen to the whole broadcast. I really don't watch your show like that. Why can't you just do that? You're 21 years old, and you 21 years old, and you've already proven that you don't watch the show. You don't have enough data
I
to
didn't say
make.
I watch every single show.
I didn't say you watch. I didn't say you watch every single thing, but you don't watch enough show to have enough information to even sustain the point you decided to make.
Okay.
So why not just say, sir, I was mistaken. I was wrong. I saw non-black women up there. I didn't like what I thought I heard, and it made me feel some kind of way, so I disconnected.
I know what I heard from the show. I mean, I
Then
know what
what
I
did
heard
you
from the show.
hear? Then what did you hear that made you want to stop watching the show?
One, like I said, it was the fact that you invited non-black
No,
women
ma'am.
to be
You
on.
know what you no. You know what you heard. That's what you just said. What did you hear that made you want to stop watching that particular show?
I heard non-black women talking about qualities that they feel that black women have that make them unsuitable for marriage. And I don't feel that as white women, they have a right to speak on black women.
Hold on. Which woman said that?
I don't.
See, you can't say that,
I can
man,
go
because
back and
no, you need to because now you're just making stuff up. And that's what everybody is
okay.
seeing. You did not watch, you did not look, and you're not thorough. And now you want me to, and now you're questioning me about why I did something that you're saying I did. I did not do that. Gentlemen, stop letting women do this to you. If they're going to say you do something, hold them to it. Because they will play slick and loose with stuff and try to get you to admit to stuff you did not do. Young lady, you're wrong. But let's just say you are right. Let's just say you are right. Let's just do that. Let's just say you are right. Let's say I had white women, not non-black, white women come over, and white women saying some things that they felt that black women were doing incorrectly or could be doing better to get a better outcome with the kind of black men black women said they want. Okay? Are we clear on that point?
Okay. Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I feel that some things need to just be kept within within our within our culture, within our race. Like, and
Okay.
it's
Did
like
you go to college?
me.
Did you go to college?
I'm in college right now.
What school do you attend?
I go to the University of South Alabama.
So is that an HBCU?
No.
Okay. Well, then how can you go learn from white people?
Go
How
and
come you can't? How
learn.
come you can't? No. Education. These things need to be done. So we need to keep stuff that's important. So why are you gonna go learn from white people? You could have easily went to Tuskegee. Don't they offer their degree program? I mean, there's some HBCU you can be taught by black people how to do something. See, that's my point. If somebody has knowledge to help you get an outcome that you want, and they can prove that they can get a different outcome, or you can see that they're getting a different outcome, is it more important who's telling you, or does the person need to look like you too? And you ain't even doing that in your life. I think what you're saying is foolish, young lady. Because that is how human beings learn, from comparison. If black women are getting married at a rate of 1 out of 4, okay? That's just the facts. 1 out of 4. And that's still factoring in the baby boomers. When the baby boomers die out, you're going to see a marital rate in the black community drop to around the teens. Black women are not getting married. The next lowest group of women to marry is white women at 54%. So if marriage is the outcome, other races of women are getting demonstratable, provable, higher outcomes in marriages. Why would you go to people who are not demonstrating and improve that they can do it when you can see other people over here that are doing it? What's wrong with hearing what they're doing and taking the meat and spit out the bones? Or you just offended at the fact that they got something to say? We can't be that ignorant. That's why I said, if that's how you believe, then you should only go to black teachers and black schools and black pastors and black restaurants. All that should be kept blackity black, 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 black. Does that logic not follow?
I think in terms of like constructive criticism that you give to someone of a different race about something, especially like
Does that
relationships,
logic not follow, young lady? Before you move, does that logic not
no,
follow? It doesn't.
no,
So
no.
I want to be clear. If somebody has constructive criticism for you, you almost so this is this virtual representation thing. This is why there's some people who believe that men shouldn't talk to women, women should only talk to men. And you can and divorced people should only give advice, and only married people. This never ends. This never ends. If you got to have actual representation, that never ends. It's a philosophical conundrum. It never ends because you could always divide the next thing by half. Young lady, you 21 years old, I'm going to make a suggestion. You need to open your ears because there are plenty of people who have things to teach you that may not look like you. Put your feelings away if you're going to get a better outcome. If you're going to block your ears because of what you perceive and your perception is clouded by your emotions, you will suffer the consequences. But you can't say I hate black women because I had a show on asking white women, are they taking all the good high value men, when black women complain and say all the good high value men are taken by white women. You do hear that, right?
Yeah, I do hear
All
it on
right.
your show.
All right, then. Then you need to ask the women who are taking your high value men why they're getting them and you're not. If they're getting them and you're not, why are you going to ask the women who ain't getting them?
There are black women who are in successful marriages.
No, that's not what that is
relationships.
that is not what I asked. You stop. You hear black women often saying, when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl. This is a popular trope. We're not talking about the black men who are with black women. That is a popular trope. That is something that black women lament over and over. You've already established that. Then it only makes sense to go to the person who's taking what you want and ask them, what are you doing to get what I want? You don't go to the people who already got it. You go to because let y'all tell it, they know better.
Were the women speaking?
All right,
were
enough. Enough for that. Go ahead, Sade.
How you doing?
Hold on. Guys, shame, insult, the need to be right. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. That's a 21-year-old woman. No facts, no data, no statistics, inaccurate, off, and the need to be right is so heavily ingrained that she's going to still debate a man who's old enough to be a father. That's why they believe you hate them, because they refuse to sit back and say, you know what, black man? Maybe I got it wrong. Hey, how you doing? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 32.
All right. Why do you think I hate black women?
I don't believe that you hate black women. Only problem that I do have with you is, well, let me ask a question before I just assume. Do you do shows like this about black men?
Okay, that's not the topic, and that's not the subject. And let's just say for the sake of argument, I don't. So what? Let's just say for the sake of argument, I don't do shows about black men. Does it change the validity of what I'm talking about?
So if you don't do shows about black men, then you're causing a bigger problem down here.
No. I asked you a question. No, hold on. I asked you if I don't do shows about black men, period, comma, if I don't do shows about black men, comma, does that fact change the validity of what I do talk about? Yes or no?
Well, no, it don't change the topic, but
So stop right there. So let's stop right there. Whether or not I do shows about black men, the validity of my arguments and the shows I do is there. Just like you don't ask daytime TV, who had free reign from the late 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, who had nothing but programming about how men ain't shit, black men in particular. Where are the men's TV shows? Where are the shows about men? You didn't ask daytime TV that.
Well, you when you come on the camera, you talk about a lot of, black encouragement things. But then when it comes to situations like this, you only being biased on one side.
No. That's not true. First off, that's not true. That's not true. I granted your argument. No, it is not true. It is not true. It is not true. Because number one, because I spent 3 years talking to men. That's been discussed so many different times. But I granted your argument. Hold on. I granted you don't overtalk me. You don't overtalk me. That's this is what don't do. I'll unmute you. Go unmute yourself, please. You can't overtalk me. People can't hear us. Ma'am, I gotta say, you've already said that whether or not I talk to men, that does not change the validity, whether or not what I'm saying about women in my shows is valid.
No,
That's the only point. That, ma'am, if my shows are valid, asking me to talk about men doesn't change what I say about women. True or false?
I'm not saying that. That's
True or
not what
false? But true or false? I want to be clear on the logic. True or false?
yes, that's
Okay.
true.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not saying anything that you say to the women is incorrect. I 100% stand behind you on half of a lot of the women do not take accountability of what they're doing. My problem is when it comes to the men, is not getting talked about, or they not going back and watching those shows. They only see these viral shows that's coming out. So they're the men, the modern day men that's down here at the bottom with me, they're just watching the shows and just taking in heed of what the things you're saying. So when they run into a woman like me, they're automatically going to be afraid.
Hold on, ma'am. I call bullshit. I'm telling you why I call. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you why I call bullshit. Oprah. Hold on. Oh, no. Where are the cries for balance in black programming from when women are making it? I don't hear you guys crying for balance. You got one black man, and since not even 2 years, and it seems to be your overall. Well, why don't you talk about men? Forget the fact that I spent 3 years documented talking to men. All those videos are still up. Women like yourself seem to just overlook that and then expect stop, and then expect me to be responsible for what I say, and then how you say that these modern men are going out there. That is a bullshit argument, ma'am. Those men have their own minds. Number one, they can make their minds up about what they're saying.
I'm living with them. I'm telling you.
They do have their own mind. See, this is that whole we want balance. It's only balance when it starts getting hot for them. There was no request for balance. Bottom line, ma'am, you said what I said was valid. I'm not going to change what I'm doing. If you want balance, then you go talk to the men. But I want you to also go out to the media complexes and start asking for equal representation for daytime men's TV. This is the nutso argument. So because I don't talk about women enough, and I don't talk about men enough, that don't make me hate women. Come on, I'll put it back up there. There's the Ask Godfather link popped off. All right. So here's what it. There it is. Interview. Hello, Tiffany. Unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. All right, Tiffany. Why do you think I hate black women?
Okay, so I don't feel like you specifically hate black women. I feel like you don't like women in general. Not necessarily like just black women specifically, like because I've been watching it. So I've watched you for a while now.
What
so
does
I
that
feel
mean?
like
What does that mean? I don't like women in general.
I mean, like, as far as you don't like us as the way I always tell my husband that I don't like you personally because you're an asshole. And
You don't know
I
me
feel
personally, so you can't say that.
okay, well, I don't like you as a person.
You don't
that I
know
do
me as a
not know.
person. You don't know me as a person, ma'am. All you know me is from a YouTube channel.
Yes, correct.
But I need you to get back to why I don't like women, why I don't like half the population.
Because I feel like the way you speak to women is very assholish. And it's not like you.
Assholish meaning direct.
You could be direct and not be an ass.
Okay, well, you haven't substantiated what asshole is.
The way you speak, like, okay, so for instance.
Let me ask you a question, Tiffany.
Yes.
How often have you, let me ask you several questions. How long have you watched my program?
For about almost a year now.
A year. Okay, so every woman that comes on the show, when I engage them on the call, I immediately go to being an asshole, as you would say.
Not immediately, no.
Okay, no, not immediately. Then what precipitates that event, Tiffany?
If you don't like something, it's automatic asshole.
No, ma'am, it's not. There have been plenty of people who, excuse me, ma'am. There's a video up right now with a 37-year-old black woman from Jamaica where I talked to her for an hour, and there was no asshole. And I didn't like several of the things she was saying. There's plenty of videos up there, ma'am. You're outright wrong. What precipitates that is usually when someone gives me an attitude. I reflect back what's at them.
I mean, but you can handle it differently.
Ma'am, I handled it the way I no, ma'am. So you want me to take bad treatment, disrespect, and handle it? Excuse me. Let me finish. I'm the coach, the consultant, and what I do is effective. I mirror back what someone's giving me so they can see themselves and make a correction. Let me ask you a question. What are you? Do you work?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What's your profession?
I'm in the medical field. I'm a nurse.
Have you ever worked any time in the ER?
Yes, I was on the EMT.
Okay, great. So when somebody comes in critical condition, do you have time to worry about each other's feelings, or you got to get shit done to save somebody's life?
You have to save the life.
Somebody could easily say that nurse Tiffany's a bitch, but I bet you that the person whose life you saved says thank you.
I mean, yes, of
No,
course.
no, ma'am. Okay. So I'm at work. And depending upon the level of trauma and the triage necessary, I may need to go stop the bleeding before we get to the bedside manner. How come you can do that in your job and I can't do it in my job? Why does that make me an asshole, but you a professional?
Because I don't talk to people, even if you're in trauma, I still can't talk to a trauma victim.
Who said you're talking to a trauma? The person in the trauma don't hear you, but the people you work with. You mean the people you talk?
Even the people
okay,
that I
ma'am.
work
First off, ma'am, I'm not a therapist. I'm not here for your feelings. I'm a coach and a consultant. Understand that.
I understand.
And understand if you don't like it, then turn the channel. But here's the thing: I am not a woman, and I'm not going to speak to women like a woman. Does your husband watch the show as well?
Yes.
Is he an asshole?
He's been watching it for longer.
Is he an asshole as well?
Yeah, I'd say he is too.
Uh-huh. So why don't you divorce him?
I will.
That's funny.
I thought it was a joke, but
no. I really wasn't. I don't play with breaking up families. But see, if you could be married to an asshole, assholes get shit done. Pussies don't.
Not necessarily, but
lady, I'm not going to debate with you. Bottom line is, you may not like my delivery, but it does not start with me. It starts when I get it. And I oftentimes say, look, rein it back in, do such and so forth. I am not going to allow someone to be rude to me, dismissive to me, and just take it and say, well, let me coax you down, especially if I'm not getting quote unquote paid from this person. If they want my bedside manner, they can book a session. Basically, you're the tone police, ma'am.
Well, so if the person was to book a session and pay for it and then give you the same attitude,
that's none of your business. That's none of your business.
Nice.
What I do in a private session is not your business, ma'am. You're the tone.
No, I was just asking.
And what you see here is what happens there. I'm a coach where I am, but let me ask you, ma'am. The people I'm talking to, typically black people, black women in particular. How many black women were married? What percentage of black women were married in their lifetime?
What percentage were married in their lifetime?
Will marry. What percentage of black women can expect to marry? Out of 100%, what percentage?
It's a low percentage.
How low?
Probably about 20. 26.
1 out of 4. That means 3 out of 4 will never have what you have. If we had a
Correct.
26%, if we had a 26% chance of survival, and that means across the socioeconomic spectrum. If you had a patient that had a 26% chance of survival, are you going to go in with moderate treatment or are you going to go in with aggressive?
Aggressive treatment.
Thank you. I'd rather them survive. And I would hope as a medical professional, you could you could at least understand that, especially somebody who's in the ER. Don't come to a coach or a consultant when we're in trauma and critical condition asking me to be a tone police or people who are tone deaf. Sadly, many times that's the only way I tend to get through to some of these people, reflecting what they're giving to me so they can hear it. Do you make any allowance for that?
Somewhat, but
No,
I feel
no,
like
you don't.
it goes
The
overboard.
answer is no, you don't. I'm just an asshole. I'm just a callous asshole that just does this because I don't like women. That's what makes sense in your world. Even all the examples I've just given you, even if I tried to make a bilateral comparison to you, you still want me to be an asshole. Just like you can't make this shit up, people. But if I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole. It gets results.
I don't think all the time it does.
It doesn't matter. Do all your patients survive?
No, not all of them.
Why is that a standard? It doesn't happen all the time. Who does? What happens all the time?
I mean,
That's not even a valid
all the time.
argument. It's not even a valid argument. Just say, ma'am, I don't like your tone. But you got to understand that your tone ain't always right every day either.
Correct.
All right, ma'am.
But
bottom line, you married to, okay, I'm not going to change my tone. I reflect what's given back to me. And here's the bottom line. If you really want my tone to change, Tiffany, then why don't you do this? Tell the women to come in and act better.
Women come and act better.
No. Why don't you go tell that to them. Because 1 out of 4 women that get married, black women that get married in their lifetime, something's going amiss. They're not getting the outcomes. And
Yes.
And who's talking to women to try to help them get anything else other than a pastor telling them everything gonna be all right, keep praying to Jesus, and keep calling you the Queen Mother Goddess, Coco Moss, Sea Moss Gold. That ain't working. Where's all the conciliatory calling language? Where's that gotten? Our sisters?
I mean, to the point where we are right now, yes. And
is that a good place?
Is
that a good place? Is that a good place? Is that a good place?
No, it's
Is that a
not.
good place? Well, on this channel, I got black women coming in and saying that I was going to leave my husband. Now I'm double down and staying with my husband because I watch your videos. I got people talking about how they are married now watching my channel. There are plenty of people who are making engagement videos, relationship videos, talking about because of listening to this, I'm a better mother, wife, sister, daughter, everything else. The woman who just called in before said the week before her mother passed, her mother apologized to her after she watched one of my harshest shows, Winter's Coming. I'll take my asshole because asshole gets shit done.
In a sense.
That's hate? No, ma'am. No. See, this is what I mean. There's no amount of truth. It's always need to be right. No, you're wrong. No, ma'am. Just go to understand there's no amount. They will never give it to you, black man. Facts, figures, data, statistics, results. When you aren't right in their eyes, nothing matters. So keep doing what you're doing. Because if you stop doing what you're doing, then they're going to call you weak. You're wrong, lady. Nobody's listening to you. I'll listen to valid arguments, but there's no more to go around. I'm not going to go around on a need to be right argument. A need to be right. You got to get on camera. Again, it's the old tone police. I think you just don't like women. Shit, I love women. I love women. I accept women for exactly who they are. Emotional creatures who run their logic through their emotion. If we had to compare us to animals, I'd say men are much more like canines and women are much more like felines. The tone police. Now, what we never do is we never tell women to come in and have a better tone. Janae, Ray. All right. Booyah. Hello. Oh Lord, you back?
Hello. So this is
Hello. See, so what have we had? I don't like your tone. You're an asshole. Woman gonna personally say, I don't know, I don't like you, don't know me. So, and the fact that what bothers a lot of the women who say that I hate black women, what really bothers a lot of black women is that so many black men are starting to speak their truths. How many times do you guys hear these women say, these men are quoting Kevin Samuels? No, Kevin Samuels is quoting these men. Think about how disrespectful this is. Basically, this woman just came on and basically tried to say that these men don't have any agency. They're walking out here and just mindlessly repeating what I say. That's bullshit. I'm saying the stuff that gets talked about in the barbershop, the basketball court, the gym, the golf course, the strip club. They're not quoting me, ladies. You're hearing them. And now you're hearing them in a way that you used to could just not listen to these men. Now it's everywhere. Now you are being forced to listen because you have been willfully not paying attention to these men. Yet you want them to hear you. Interesting. Then it's about the tone, the tone, the tone, the tone, the tone. Always the tone. No. I reflect what's given. And then lastly, are they taking all the good men? I really want you guys to focus in on because that show ticked a lot of black women off. Because it didn't matter how many non-black women I shut down. That one show when these women came in and said, this is why I like dating black men, and this is how I do this, and this is why I do that. And when that one or two women actually said, because I asked, what would be some advice that you would give women to get a better outcome? I did ask that question to one. I asked her for her advice, and she said, be nicer. Now you're going to have a young black woman sit here and say, that chef's to be in-house. I'm sorry. There are times when you need to go. That is a sickness I think too many of us have. We need to keep it all in house, all in house. You were talking about. Remember the broadcast I did when I said that many black women, are black women even our women? You don't even want to feel like you need to smile at black men. How do you keep it in house? The house is on fire. And I just want to say, bottom line is, I think it really comes right down to it. My personal opinion is many black women don't want to be told nothing by nobody. Hearing it from a black man, it's easy to dismiss a black man because that happens all the time. But hearing it from non-black women, especially a white woman, that, hey, well, sorry. The show was the show. Hello? What happened to her? All right, she bounced. Sonia, you gotta start your camera, or you can't come on. Tanisha, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Samuels.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. How old are you?
I'm 40.
Mm. Why do you feel like I hate black women?
Well, I felt that way, but one of my male friends, he had introduced me to your show. I want to say maybe a couple months ago, and I initially was upset and felt like you hated women and stuff like that. And then I started listening and start watching more of your videos, and I got a better understanding of what you were saying because I started listening instead of getting in my feelings and stuff like that. And I have been married for 15 years.
So hold on. I want to be clear. So you don't. I'm glad that your opinion has changed, but you no longer think that I hate black women.
I don't. I mean, I think as black women, we're just wanting to blame somebody, and
Okay.
we shouldn't do that if we just listen. Like,
Okay, I want to hear you out, but I got to get to the people who have the. I only have a little bit more airtime, so I appreciate you calling in, though.
Okay, well, I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
All right, Sonia, unmute yourself. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself, Sonia. Kind of blue and green. Play a little tutu for me. Miles Davis up in this piece. Miles, go ahead and unmute yourself, Miles. Unmute yourself. The rebirth is slick.
Hello?
Bring back cool. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing okay. And yourself?
Hi. You kind of cutting out there.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. How old are you?
50.
Okay. Why do you believe that I hate black women?
Well, I started watching.
Oh, you got a bad connection. 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 You're underwater over there. So we're gonna try to unmute you and try to do this again. The rebirth the cool like Miles and shit. Hello? Let's try this again.
I'm on mute.
Okay, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. You're 50
Okay.
and I said, why do you believe that I hate black women?
About like 3 or 4, I had like different women or different friends to tell me to watch your show and watch it. And I
Yeah. You're borging really badly. I can't do anything with that. Your audio is just bad. I can't. It's going in and out and it's digitized. So yeah. So I think what it is, guys, is what we're starting to see is I like to do these smoke shows. I got another one coming Wednesday. Oh, you're gonna love Wednesday's topic. In my personal opinion, it is an easy deflection to say that man up there speaking hates women or black women because that makes it easier for them to tune you out and turn you off. But they've only said that because something I said pierced them. Something I said pierced them or touched them or poked them in an area where they don't like it. So instead of doing what many women have done and sit there and say, you know what? I may not like what he said or how he said it. It is, however, accurate and or true. See, that's adult. Adults understand you understand facts over feelings. Sadly, in this country and far too often in our culture, we think we can dismiss facts based upon how we feel about something. And like I was trying to tell the nurse, when you have a community, the dollar circulates 6 hours, when we're not making families and we're not getting married, you don't have time to sit around and coddle because that's been done too much. You've been told, think like a man, act like a woman. You've been told, waiting to exhale and color purple, and you the goddess, and you the queen, and this and that. And the funny thing is, even the people who've told you this stuff are now seeing that it ain't working. When you got women saying nothing except go get therapy, and then women Savage are starting to realize, yeah, we thought it was him. It's me too. This is about outcomes, folks. About outcomes. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. All these deflections. And just think about the words we hear far too often in today's in 2020 plus America. I want to outlaw the word toxic. I want to outlaw the word bash. These words, toxic and bash, are overused. They're just filler words now. They don't mean anything. Toxic, bash, basically anything that I don't like. Anything that I don't like is toxic or bashing. Nope. All right, we're gonna keep trying. I got a little bit more time because I want to get. When I do these smoke shows, I try to give a free vetting. Plus, being on the East Coast, this show starts at 7 o'clock on Pacific. So now it's right about 9 o'clock. Yeah, you're a guy, so I don't know what you're talking about. This isn't for guys though, so it says ladies only. It says women only, so you're a guy. Yeah, I don't know. It says for go ahead and start your camera. I had a guy, and I've had a couple of guys pop up. I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to hear what guys have to say about why they think I hate black women. You don't get to come over here and cape. You want to say that? Say it on your channel. What's coming up? What's coming up? Over the next several months, for the remainder of this year, we're doing Project Push. Project Push to get, we're about to get into cuffing season. And as I was talking to the yesterday about the church, some things came into play. iPhone, you got to get on camera. If you're not going to get on camera, I'm going to bounce you. Start your video. Start your video in the Zoom meeting. I need to see who you are. I'm going to put a video up asking about the content you guys want to see. All right, let me see who you are, ma'am. I need to see who you are. All right, unmute yourself. You don't have to be on, but you need to unmute yourself. Do you not want to be on YouTube or something?
No, I don't think.
All right. Okay. Or do you have the TV on or YouTube playing in the background?
No.
Okay. How old are you? Okay. I need you to hold the phone steady. Yeah, this audio is horrible. I'm not going to do that. The audio is horrible. I mean, you need to hold the phone steady and get off Bluetooth or something because I can't hear you. So you always got to show yourself on Zoom. You call yourself somebody with the real hair. You got to show yourself. Real hair or not, you got to show yourself. I got to see you. I must verify that you are actually a living, breathing woman, or else you go bye-bye.
I'm gonna.
Hello?
Yeah, I was gonna hop in on another device since my audio is bad on here.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll be back.
okay. All right. So, T, you need to show yourself, or I got to bounce you. And Becky, your audio is not connected. I was actually hoping to get some people on here who had a real cognitive but most of the people just want to say just because of the way it's your tone. And I think it's fair to say that there's a difference when you see women who are raised with a father or a grandfather or uncles raised around strong men. Men speak this way. And gentlemen, one of the biggest mistakes that I made in my life was not speaking like this. You know, many of us were raised to think this soft kind of coddling thing, it is not effective. Being direct, clear with your expectations and understanding is best for men. Okay, Becky, your audio is not connected. So you can't come on. Ray, I don't see a picture with you. It's just a do. And then T, you're going to go away in 5 seconds. So I don't just bring people on because you're going to go ahead and try to do. Yeah, T, you're going bye-bye. 4, 3, 2. Okay, well. All right, so Wednesday night show. Anybody want to know what Wednesday night show is going to be about? Oh, yeah. Pack a lunch for Wednesday show. You're going to want to be here for this one. I'm going to have to change the rating on Wednesday night show because it's going to be adult content. You will want to be here. Let me say this. Let me see what's going on in here in the chat room. Shout out to Lou for the assholes, right? I'll be an asshole. You lay down with a man, make a baby. Thank you, man. I want to get these women in here. Look here, man. Wednesday show, we are going there. Because we've already talked, we're going to discuss all the big dramas. The you hate women thing that's the starter. All right, well, come on, bring it back. You hate women thing. Well, guess what's going to be Wednesday? I can't even put it. I don't want to drop it. I'm going to just leave it on you. You can kind of guess what I'm going to drop on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'm going to just drop it up there. And they're going to be mad. What happened? Kerri, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I am good. I hear background noise going on.
You know what? Oh, is it good?
All right, cool. So How old are you?
I'm 30.
So why do you think I hate black women?
I don't think you hate black women, but I do think you disregard that there are many who are outliers and who do like you mentioned the smiling thing a lot. You know, I mean, I'm definitely a very personable, I have a magnetic personality. I love our black men. I really do. I try to boost us up.
Let me ask you a question though. Okay.
Yeah.
A fair question. What major program discusses tangents and outliers?
None.
Thank you.
None.
I am not trying to reach everybody. I say that there are outliers on the men and female side. I'm trying to get the 80%. There are 10, there are 20%, there are 10 to 20% who are already outliers.
Correct. No, I completely agree with you that, and I mean, I'm definitely in agreement. I will tell you, you've definitely woken, you know, woken me up to behaviors that I have to change. And if I want to achieve certain goals in life and like you say, not die alone.
So
not
what
be
do
in
you
a
mean
car
when you
for
say
months.
when you say outliers? What do you mean though? What are you talking about?
Well, I just feel like, I mean, in a lot of ways, I feel like I personally am speaking for me and even some of the women I surround myself
You mean
with, who
okay.
have great personalities, who are definitely already aligned with what you preach before they ever
Okay.
heard you.
Okay.
And
So
so that's just, I just mean there's a lot of, those types of, there are those women in the Black culture that are very receptive and full of love for Black men and are not resentful.
okay.
But I do believe in, like what you say, the masculinity
But
and
okay.
different
So
stuff.
are these women married?
Yes,
Most of them?
and some of them, I would say, some of them went into relationships with other women.
Well, see, here's the thing. See, when I hear about outliers, and I hear about, well, it's not me or my friend group, all right, but are we seeing a different result in personal lives? Because I know there are a lot of attractive professional women who align with what a lot of things I say, but then look at their personal life and there's nothing. And due respect to all of you, the real true alignment is shut the French toast up, get with a Black man, marry him, make some Black babies and a Black family. That's how we keep score. We don't keep score on pom poms and cheerleaders. That's better than nothing. But we got to get to the point to where we got women like yourself who are with a Black man, making a Black family and Black kids. That's what counts.
You are correct.
And the holdup is honestly you and your outlying female friends, because Black men are like, where are all y'all outliers at? Going to Cancun and having girls trips and shit. Outlier y'all ass on with a man. And see, when y'all with y'all girlfriends, that means every time you with your girlfriends, you ain't with your man.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Seriously. You know what I'm saying is true, because I run into women like you all the time. Like, I did what you said, I did what I'm like, and I'm like, yes. But then I always got to say, hold up, fam. This seems like what you want to hear. Where's your husband? And
You're
here's the
right.
problem.
No, you are correct. You are correct. I will say that.
And that's part of the rest of 2020, 2021.
You're doing good work. I will tell you that. I mean,
there's still more work to do.
Walk around mentioning you. It's like I'm holding your business cards these days. I
Well,
have
that's
the men and
part
the
of what's remaining is like on the Patreon and doing stuff, because we got to. Because here's the thing: there's still a tremendous amount of fear in women like you and then other guys. Anyway, I don't want to address that right now. This is smoke week. Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.
And I mean that. I know for a fact there are many, I wish there were many more, many Black women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, wanting to get on the page, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, but where are the relationships? That's what matters. That's what matters. I got my Ikes and my Theos and my Blake Henrys out here, and these kings need queens. And I never use those words. These men need women. What you doing in the dark over there? Over on the iPhone in the dark? I can't see. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. All right, Raya, you can come in. And then after that, Vera. And after that, Becky. Go ahead, Raya. Unmute yourself. You don't have to be on. Hello?
Okay. So can you hear me better now?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 22.
All right. So why do you think I hate Black women?
Well, there are several things, but I think maybe the most, if I have to pick one, um, there's one instance when you were talking about beauty, and you said some things about Black women being on the opposite spectrum of beauty, having asymmetrical faces. And there have been, like, to me,
No, no, no,
signs like
no,
the
no. Hold on. Stop right there.
okay.
Where did I say that?
Yeah, so it was a show a few months back, maybe
Uh-huh.
4 or 5
I know the show you're
5
talking
months.
about.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and you were talking about beauty, and you were talking about, um it's like a philosophical concept of whether beauty is subjective or objective, and that
Uh-huh.
beauty can be, like, mathematical.
It
It's
is.
based on symmetry.
It is.
And you said that Black women, you didn't specify a single Black woman. You said the blanket term Black women are on the opposite spectrum of beauty, and that we have asymmetrical faces.
No, I did not. Black women. I would never say black women's faces don't map along the Fibonacci sequence. That is outright that is wrong. And that is something that has been running across the internet. No, ma'am. The Fibonacci sequence,
Okay.
the golden no. I know what I
Mhm.
said. Because it is
I'm listening.
mathematical. It is mathematical. There is a
Mhm.
subjective and an objective standard of beauty. The
Mhm.
objective standard of beauty is the Fibonacci sequence. This is why you get children who don't even have language, or even pets, animals who respond to symmetrical faces. Human beings have evolved to like a symmetrical mapping. This is why we like spiral patterns in nature, staircases, flowers. We have evolved to like the Fibonacci sequence. But I would never say that there is a continent on this earth that there are women whose faces don't map along to that sequence. That is anthropologically false.
Okay. Well, then maybe you can clarify what you meant when you said we're on the opposite spectrum of beauty.
I didn't say you're on the opposite spectrum of beauty. I didn't say you're on the opposite spectrum of beauty. I wouldn't say
Hmm.
that.
So, like,
I mean, if you
maybe I'll
understand even
hear
where,
you
if you even
wrong.
understand where no, I think you guys have been you guys have been playing a long game of telephone. If you even understand where the first human uh, skeleton was found, well, what continent was that on?
Um, Africa, as far as we know,
Yeah,
thus
was it
far.
Lucy or Anne? Yes. Where's the cradle of civilization? The world comes from that continent. So, would you make room for the fact that maybe did you hear me say black women on the opposite spectrum of the opposite end of the beauty spectrum?
Yes, I did.
Bullshit.
I watched the video myself,
Bullshit.
and I've heard it played time and time again.
Bullshit. I would never say something as reckless as that.
Hmm. Okay. I don't know. I guess I
I
can go
do
listen to
know.
it
I
again.
do know. I do know because every time I hear somebody say this, and then people ask and pull up the clip, you never pull up the show,
So, was there
ma'am. It's just
something
not,
in? Hmm.
ma'am. No, it's wrong. That's why I did the show. It's simply wrong.
Okay.
Every
So, was there
continent,
something?
and I'm gonna say it again. The Fibonacci sequence is a human evolutionary trait. There is a subjective and an objective quality to beauty. And if you look at where the recorded human beings originated from, it's the continent of Africa. So what you're basically asking me to say is humans evolved differently in Africa? No, you're just wrong.
Hmm.
But see,
Okay.
you've been listening to this stuff for so long and listen to people parrot this stuff for so long to where it's hard for you to hear it out of my mouth. You're like, well, I know I heard that. I'm telling you, I wouldn't say anything that reckless.
I understand.
Opposite now, opposite end of a beauty spectrum.
Hmm.
No. The only spectrum I talk about is Fibonacci sequence.
Yeah. So I understand So was there something, because you're saying we're just pulling up the smaller like 5-minute clip. Was there something in the like full length of the show that would explain
No, nope.
that
Ma'am,
statement?
ma'am, I can't explain why people decide to misuse what I say. People looked at a video that said when I said the woman was average at best. People tried to use something where I talked about a topic and they tried to make it about abuse. Are you seriously trying to ask me why people do what they do? I'm telling you, I didn't say it,
Well,
and there's no reason to say it.
I
Bottom line,
understand,
no,
but
no, there's no. If you don't know, you want to believe it. How
I
about
don't
that?
want to believe
Well,
it.
then,
I
I'm
listened
telling
to
you,
the
I
clip
didn't say it,
myself,
ma'am,
and I've been a supporter, but after hearing
ma'am,
the clip,
ma'am.
I
You
was
hear a
honestly
clip,
disappointed.
the show. Do you not? I'm okay. Due respect, ma'am. How do you?
I'm 22.
You know, I could clip your life up and make you sound any kind of way I want to.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay, well
That's
then,
why
if
I
that's the
asked
case,
if
all
there was
right.
something,
I've addressed it
in the
several
show.
times. I said no, 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 ma'am. It's not there. I wouldn't say anything that reckless. And if I did say something along the line of a beauty spectrum, it's in context. And see, the funny thing about my show is a long form show. Oftentimes, I will make a point, connect to another point that may be 5, 10, 16, even 36 minutes down the track. But people today have such a short attention span. If you click in, just like this woman earlier clicked in, talking about, oh, well, your tone and you shouldn't do this, do that. And I said, well, did you listen to my entire show where I said I'm a consultant and a coach? I'm not a therapist or a consultant. I mean, I'm not a therapist or somebody to collar your feet. So you don't have a license? I address everything, ma'am. Outright, I don't say that. That would basically mean me saying that people from the continent of Africa, black women with dark skin, don't have beautiful features. That just belies observable fact. Some of the most gorgeous supermodels come from the continent of Africa, dark skin. It's a Fibonacci sequence. It's a spiral. So no.
Okay.
Now, here's the one thing I will say. In this country, a lot of our women seem to have a problem with this, what they call white European or European ethnocentric standard of beauty. And that's a battle that you ladies got to fight amongst yourselves. Men recognize beauty. What men are more drawn to more than anything else is facial symmetry and body weight. Now, on the opposite end of a spectrum, you are larger than you should be. You are out of shape on that spectrum, far out of shape. But facially, no. That's why I say this whole Eurocentric standard of beauty is a woman's argument. It's some shit y'all do, just right along with colorism.
Okay. So what would you recommend? Like, should we go and watch the full show? Maybe there'll be some
I don't,
context in
ma'am,
there.
ma'am, I'm trying to
Explain.
do my best, man, but I've said it. There are thousands of hours of content. I am not
Right.
responsible.
But do you think like
Okay,
saying
ma'am,
one
ma'am.
thing can ruin
No, I don't.
something like, can seem kind of unforgivable and very hurtful if
I
it's
don't give
like
a
that
shit.
bad?
Then leave. Due respect, ma'am. That's why I said I wish you guys lived this standard. I hope you live that way. To where what you say today, I spoke about this at the beginning. You people act like what you say today, if you were being recorded, everything you said from here on through eternity, and people want to hold you accountable to something you said 2 years ago in the middle of a stream where you were talking to this and they misheard that. If that's the standard and it's unforgivable, then screw you. I don't need to be forgiven. That is a standard beyond Christ. The only person who can live up to that is perfection. And I'm not trying to be perfect. You're looking for shit to be wrong at that point. And I don't want to be with people who are looking for stuff to be wrong. You're looking to be offended, you'll find something to find offensive. Good. Be offended. Go. I'll stay over here with the people who are trying to win. I mean that shit. Because we love to play gotcha in the black community. Everybody else can make mistakes. Everybody else can say this, evolve, such and so forth. Black people, you got to be we are stuck in high school. That's how you were. That dude was here, but he trying to be such and so forth. He wasn't anyway in high school. Stay stuck. You can't be stuck behind and talk about catching up and evolving. I said I didn't say it. I never would say some silly shit like that. It doesn't make mathematical sense. It doesn't make logical sense. I'm not going to be responsible for what somebody's, well, I heard a clip. Okay. Now keep believing if you want to. Let me say this again. There is nothing that makes one race of people more symmetrically beautiful than another. I don't even understand how we could get that concept. Go ahead, Becky.
Hi, how you doing? Good evening, Mr. Samuel.
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 36.
All right. Why do you think I hate black women?
You know, the whole thing about that is there's a thin line between love and hate.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't really understand the
Do you
harsh
think
side.
do you think I hate black women?
Oh, no. I think you
Okay.
love them enough to hate them.
Okay. Well, I love enough to correct them, but I got to get to the people who have a disagreement with. I got to get to that people. I got to get to those people. I
All
appreciate
right.
it though. All right.
Take care.
Bye bye. I got to get to that part. All right. See, I want you guys to understand what just happened. When someone is looking to have an issue, they will find it. And I'm gonna tell you, you want two issues? You want some issues that people will suspend all logic and reasoning? One thing I've recognized is this colorism argument. I don't even really touch it. I let them have it. I'm not going to discuss it because it becomes irrational. It becomes an irrational argument. You can't argue someone's feelings. And this European standard of beauty, I'm not going to argue that either. They can have it. All right, last ones. What's your name? Dontahvia? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
I don't want to be on video.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
All right. So, why do you feel like I hate black women?
Well, there's two things that stuck out to me the most when watching your videos. I understand that you are trying to correct behavior that is immoral in the
Okay,
Black
your
community,
audio kind of sounds
especially.
your audio sounds kind of underwater. Are you on Bluetooth or something?
Yeah, let me take that off. Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I noticed with your videos that you like to speak upon and correct the immorality that's going on in the Black community, specifically with women. And the two things that stuck out to me that made me feel like you dislike women, and I guess primarily Black women, since your main target is them because you're concerned with the Black families, is you diminishing the pain of Black women. And the first time I let it go, but the first thing that stuck out to me was when you said that you don't know anything about anybody being abused in the Black community, that you don't know any women in your life and Black women aren't being abused.
That's a misquote. That's a no. Hold on. Now. See, first of all, I'm not really concerned about the morality, as you say. I'm not the moral police. Let's get that straight. Number one, that's not my job. And when I was saying I don't see it going on like they're saying it goes on, that's the context. I know the show you're talking about because I was talking about the color purpling of the Black community. Nobody's going to sit back and say that it doesn't happen, but I don't see it happening and I damn sure don't see it happening at the levels that we hear women coming on this show talking about it. Because even when they come on, how often do you hear these women say they go actually file any kind of police report or any documentation? It's going off of what they say. No, ma'am. Because those kind of accusations have real world consequences on men. I'm not a fan of believe all women. If there's something that happens that rises to the level to where you're going to make it the deciding factor to why you come on the show and say you left, all I ask is, was there any police reports filed? And 90+% of the time they say no. What do you want men to do with that? Just believe?
Yeah, so I have nothing to say to that. I was just telling you the statements of and the experiences from watching you, what I felt, what made me feel like you have a lack of respect for women, specifically
Man, but
Black
if you
women, and
watch the
hate Black
show, did
women.
you not see the context of the statement? Context, people.
Okay. The second
Does the
incident is
no, no, okay. Does the context change that though? Or do you still feel the same way regardless as to the context?
I'm just giving you examples of
I
what
get it,
my
man. But
perception
no.
of
So
you,
okay,
your rhetoric.
perceptions are fine, man. But I'm asking you a direct question. You said this. I said, all right, but here's the context that was in the show, and I reaffirmed the context. Does it change the feeling?
So basically, you're trying to say that the context is
I'm not trying to
women
say
are not
anything. I'm
being
saying context
abused. The
matters.
con
What
the
you
con
said was a direct statement. And I said, ma'am, that is not the context.
Okay.
So, okay, what you're saying, ma'am, is disingenuous. And I gave context to see if you're going to actually say, you know what? Now that I hear that's the context it was given in, I feel the same way, or it changes my mind.
So are
And you're
you
not.
upset with me for not changing my
I'm
viewpoint just
no,
because you
I'm
said that?
asking. No, I'm not. I don't care one way or another. I'm asking a question that you haven't answered. That's what I'm trying to get to. You trying to move to the next point. I'm asking you. After hearing the context, does that change anything? And you have yet to say yes or no. You just act like it's not going to do anything. I'm asking. Exactly.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I
There's
was
no
just
argument, ma'am. I ask you, does the context change anything? It either does or it doesn't.
it really doesn't change my perception. I watched the
All righty
entire
then.
show.
That's what I thought. That's my point, folks. Context doesn't matter. So when you want to be offended, you'll be offended. You cannot have an irrational argument, cannot have a rational argument with someone who is dead set on being irrational. If context doesn't matter, there's no point to it. You guys heard it. Context doesn't matter. So, and I will stand by it again. I do not see women being jacked up and done stuff to the levels we hear women talk about over here. I don't see it. I never saw that in my 52 years. Haven't seen it. Not saying it does not happen anecdotally, but I've never seen to the levels that we hear women talk about this happened, that. What I have seen is the opposite. I've seen women being violent to men, verbally and physically. What I personally have seen is more of that. And so when I ask women who come in here and talk about violence, domestic violence, did you file any police report? Is there any paperwork? And 90% of the time, 90+% of the time, there is none. And I will say it again. In 2021, I do not believe all women. I believe paperwork and facts. Because today's climate, an accusation can ruin a man. We have too many cases of women just saying this happened, no facts, no statistics, no nothing, none, and the man just being ruined. I absolutely don't. Brian Banks, didn't he just do 5+ years, was in jail? Woman got $2 million. Is that woman seeing any part of a prison? Absolutely not. Facts over feelings. We need to become a thinking people. We need to be, well, I'm going to say people need to think. People need to think. When you start talking about someone's livelihood, we need to think. I'll say it again. One-way violence has been the norm. So, as I think, sadly, what happens in many of these shows, it's feelings. You can have a room for feelings, but if you're going to just be dead set on what you feel, context doesn't matter, facts don't matter, statistics, data don't matter. It's all about your feelings. You're entitled to your feelings. You don't get anywhere, in my opinion, debating that with somebody. Let them have it. Let them have it. Let them have it. But like this, the whole thing started. Modern, relating to the present or recent time as opposed to the remote past. Modern women are a different breed of woman. I don't think that's really. I don't understand this shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right, the level of just wanting to be disagreeable for ego's sake, pride's sake, just the whatever sake. It's not working, ladies. Are you getting the outcomes you want with the kind of men you want? So, all right then, folks. Wait till Wednesday night show. If you thought this was one, woo, Wednesday is going to be a humdinger. Humdinger. But you know how we do that, folks? Until the next time, your Godfather says, peace. We are gone. Humdinger. Back in 2018, you said that if you had an elbow in this moment, so I'm a hate you for the rest of your life. You said something back in 2017 on the 3rd hour and the 13th minute and the 10th second of a panel when you was reheating the slice of pizza. And I'm mad at you. I made 17 million hours of video responding to that 3 seconds that I thought I heard you say. Woo! Get him, Bear Bear. Get him, Bear Bear. Oh, shout out to King Ike, part of the dynamic duo. Somebody see Theo up in the street. Jared, what's going on, buddy? So tell you good night. Shout out to everybody in the super chat. You guys know how it is. These shows, I gotta focus. I know in smoke shows, I gotta be focused because, yeah, everything he says is being scrutinized. I'm good for it.
Cause I know what I'm getting into.
Brandon Jet, peace out.
Nothing can stop me. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize.
Christina Chase. Edward Jones. Barbie Girl. Hey, Free. Mike B. Do your own research. Thursday, we have